You're listening to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, presented by Brandon Elliott. This show will be going over all aspects of real estate investing and is intended to educate, motivate, and prepare you to take action on your first or next real estate investment. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Thank you for listening and enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Brandon Elliott. Happy holidays, everyone. 'Tis the season. Thanksgiving is over. We are about a week and a half away from Christmas, which is awesome. Getting ready for the new year, getting ready for the spirit. We just got done doing a 2-day annual meeting with our leadership just about 2 weeks ago. It was incredible. We had a blast. It was great culture, great team bonding and building and strategizing, and iron sharpens iron. It was critical. It was dangerous. It was scary. It was all the fun things, and we were pushing each other to the limits. We went over 136 problems that we identified throughout our business within Credit Counsel Elite only, which is crazy. It was wild. We were hitting some records, but we identified them, we solved them, we put some game plans together for 2026, and we couldn't be more proud of our team in this season, stretching each other, holding each other accountable, and really pushing to go further, farther, faster, and overall delivering an experience to our members with a strategy of excellence like they've never seen thus far. And so I couldn't be more proud of that as a founder, as a CEO, as somebody that is very, very passionate about getting this information that has absolutely changed the life of me and Jennifer, my beautiful bride, as well as our families' lives from the ripple effect from the power of credit. And what we're doing here at Credit Counsel Elite has been nothing less of an absolute miracle, to say the least. And so if you have been impacted from Credit Counsel Elite, if you're listening as a member, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, leave a Trustpilot review. Greatly appreciate all the love and support. You guys are amazing. You guys are my people. You guys are my tribe. I'm very grateful for it. But if you have not just yet have committed and jumped into Credit Counsel Elite, or if we've done you wrong in your opinion in the past, then let me make it right. Let me serve you to the highest capacity, to the highest ability. And I truly believe that communication is key. Communication is like, we're all humans. We're all going through this wild life experience. There's ups, there's downs, there's left, there's right. There's all types of craziness going on in the world. And what I can tell you is that we're all going through something. Right? We're all going through something. And so how I've been able to work through issues, problems, and being able to course correct and get back on track has always come down to simply communication. Over communicate, fully be transparent, fully put your heart on the table, and let people either show their true colors or let breakthroughs take place. Like, at least you can have that freedom of knowing that, hey, I poured everything out on the table and I got to be heard, understood, accepted, and work out some kind of game plan to move forward. And so what I really want to cover today as more of a teaching moment and lesson in the making as we all tune in and listen here is I could talk about a bunch of things. We have just sold a New Jersey property, made about $160,000 on, which is awesome. After I just did a HELOC on it just a couple months ago, which is funny. But what else? Just got rid of a bunch of furniture for 10 units out here in San Diego. We still have more actually, but we got done, not all furniture, but we got done 3 units so far. We still have several units to go. Things are going though quicker and quicker, so that's cool. We are renting out a bunch of these units, going from short-term rentals to long-term rentals. One of the long-term rentals that I haven't discussed yet, I will be soon, but we just started doing construction after renting out the main house, building 3 units on the same parcel, and the tenants here in California, even though it was written in the lease, even though it was explained properly, again, communication is key. When you're dealing with a property management company, there could be some whisper down the lane that I'm not a big fan of. I like to get straight to the source, cut it off, and fix the problem. However, there was some problems of the brand new tenants being frustrated with the construction, not allowing our crew to get on and wanting to renegotiate their overall cost on their monthly rent and so forth. So just got done, having the property management company negotiate that and so forth. So a lot of things in the making, a lot of things that I could definitely go on a rabbit hole and talk about and bring some learning lessons to save you guys a fortune. And we will. But what I really felt in my heart to cover today is the real ROI. The real ROI. ROI, return on investment. So the return on investment for yourself as a business owner, as an investor, as a human being that wants to work, that works hard, gets some kind of money or some kind of compensation back for you working hard. You want to be able to take that payout and be able to reinvest it and be able to make a strong ROI, return on your investment, right? And the goal is that you make more money, that you can buy back your time, meaning you can outsource, elevate, delegate. You can have somebody walk the dog, have somebody wash the dog, have somebody do the cleaning in the house, have somebody wash the cars, have somebody do the laundry. All these things you elevate and delegate, you outsource, right? To start buying back your time, because the little things in life that anybody could do doesn't mean that you need to do, right? So then when you have no money, and I've said this many, many times in the past, but when you have no money, then you have a ton of time, typically. Now, in today's day and age, it's very easy to get caught up of being busy, quote unquote. But realistically, many people aren't busy. They're just misprioritizing their time. And so, again, if you have no money, you typically have extra time, or at least you can find time. Now, as you start making a ton of money, or more and more money, I should say. In many cases, not everyone, but many cases, you end up trading your time for money. You end up giving away a lot of your time to be able to acquire more money because you're working for it actively. Eventually, you're going to want to get yourself into one of those boxes, those quadrants, that it is the money that you've made and bust your ass for to be able to get. You want to start diversifying and putting that money to work into other opportunities and investments where you can ideally make a strong ROI off of it. But let me challenge you here when it comes down to a real ROI, like a real strong return on your investment. I truly believe accountability and feedback are the secret ingredients here. And what I mean by that? Well, what I mean is a lot of us want to do it in our own strengths. And the logic standpoint, in many cases, especially for those who are successful or 100% not over analytical, and they're willing to fail forward, which I love that. I'm that type of person myself. I know firsthand that I'm not the brightest, smartest, most attractive, like all these other things, right? I am, not to self-deprecate myself, but like, I know I'm not going to be the best in the room. The ego isn't that high that I'm banging my chest like I am the best. Look out for King Brandon. No, I definitely understand that there is somebody out there that can go faster, stronger, better, close easier, whatever the things are, like can put more talented, right? So how do I compete with that? Well, I fail forward. I'm not going to overanalyze it. I keep going and I get around high level individuals. I hire on when I can afford to hire on the best of the best, and they love their job. They're the best at it. Nobody's going to do better. Like I hired them on to be able to do the job. Right. And there's who is it? Henry Ford? Was he the one? I believe. I don't know. You guys probably heard the story or remember the story, famous story of like being in court, I believe. And he was saying like, I'm not the talented, like, I don't know how to do math, read, write, or any of those things, but I do know who to call to be able to handle any of these things. Like, don't need to be the smartest, but if you know how to get to those individuals to handle all those things, then you're in the right room and you know how to handle, you know how to elevate and delegate. And so when it comes down to focusing on not just like your business and all these other pieces, and as you elevate and delegate, a lot of people are investing in themselves and thinking that what got you here is going to get you further, right? And what I mean by that is, like, there's logical standpoint and confirmation of all of the, especially if you're somebody that's successful, like all of the successes that you've had thus far are because of you saying yes and doing things and failing forward, right? And so if a lot of people have held you back and said no or doubted you and all these other things, and if you would have listened to them, then you would have failed. But because you didn't, you kept going forward, then there's a lot of logic behind, like, oh, okay, well, why would I change? Why would I listen to anybody else? I can keep doing this in my own strength. What I've come to realize is that just because I've been able to make right decisions, there's a lot of favor in my life. There's a lot of favor. And just because I've been able to hit certain levels of success doesn't mean that I'm going to get to the next level. I've been plateauing for a while now. I'm not going to be able to get to that next level until I dial in the real ROI, which I believe is accountability and feedback. So a lot of people, the fastest progress always comes from someone reviewing your offers, your scripts, your daily decisions and weekly decisions, right? Then actually holding you to the standard. So if you at the end of the day are like jumping into a course, for example, a famous quote unquote course, right? Like all that stuff is already out there in many ways. So if you're thinking about joining Credit Accounts Elite for the first time potentially, or, and you really want to take this serious, if you think in your right mind that a course is going to be able to solve all of your problems, I got to tell you, I got to be upfront. The likelihood of that is very limited. Very, very unlikely. A course that helps navigate, puts all the information that's out there in the web, all the wildness, all the feedback. If you believe in me, if you believe, and if you know me, if you like me, if you trust me, know, like, and trust factor, and you believe that, hey, what I'm putting in front of you in a course setting is going to be the truth that you want to be able to soak up, excellent, right? That's excellent. That's number one. But then afterwards, if you think only the truth that I put in front of you, just the quote unquote course piece of it, the book of it, if you will, if you think that is going to solve all your problems, you are devilishly, like, you are so mistakenly wrong in so many ways, And I say that with love and grace because some people really put a lot of hope, a lot of trust in that process. And that's why I'm bringing it up. I've seen it more frequently. And it's just, in my opinion, it doesn't go that way. Because when a course ends, the video ends, right? See, coaching continues until the deals are closed, until what you originally wanted, your North Star, becomes reality. When you can actually repeat it with confidence, boldness, and certainty each and every time, every 6 months, on clockwork, getting massive amounts of funding, like here at Credit Accounts Elite, how you can get deals for real estate, how you can put your money to work and get a strong ROI with confidence, that's when we know, congratulations, you completed the task, you hit your goals, you graduated, like, check mark, you're good to go. A $2,500 course all by itself, can it get you an ROI? I would be foolish to say that it couldn't. What's the likelihood that it will get you the ROI that you want, that we love to claim and actually project and put out there? Letting you know that when you do this right, and when I mean right, with true guidance and coaching and mentorship, you can get up to $500,000 with rates as low as 0% and actually be able to repeat it every 6 months per person. Do you think you're going to be able to get that type of ROI? That's where I would say no. I would say the likelihood is probably less than 5%. I would probably say closer to 1%. It's very, very, very unlikely without coaching. And the best way that I can explain this to somebody that's very analytical, or maybe that can kind of download the picture in their mind right now, is if you wanted to learn how to fly a plane and you came to me because I'm the expert as flying a plane, you see me fly planes, you're like, this guy can fly a plane, he can teach me how to do it, he can make it simplified, nobody can do it better than Brandon. And you came to me and I just gave you the manual, I gave you the printed out, like the PDF, I had some videos explaining how to fly a plane, and I just gave that to you. Would you still jump in? Would you still go find the location for a plane, jump into a plane, do all the checks that I'm telling you to, and jump into a plane and actually fly the plane and land the plane on your own with confidence and boldness? Would you put yourself at risk like that after listening and like, you don't do any, what we know today as like, you don't go through any certification program, you're not putting in your hours. I forget how many hours it is, 50, 60, 100 something hours. You're not putting in any of that with anybody else cockpit with you, like a coach. Instead, you're just doing it yourself. You're doing it on your own will. That, my friend, is a scary position to be, because you're literally dancing with your own life in your own hands. So are you really, really that confident that nothing will go wrong because you read the course? You've gone through it. You were at the gym multitasking. You were listening and then you just jump in, like you went through the 5-hour course and now you're an expert and you need nothing else and you can go out and get the results you want. The answer is no. The answer is, how stupid does that sound? You're not going to go through a 5-hour or an 8-hour quote unquote course and then feel like you're going to jump into a plane all by yourself and just take off and you're certified, you're good to go, and you can get all the funding you need type of thing, So why actually do that yourself? There's obviously there's a lot of fear nowadays. There's a lot of people that there's a trust recession, there's the economy's tighter, money's tighter, so it scares the hell out of people when they have to cough up the big dollar to be able to pay for the coaching. But when we tell you that we really, really invest into our community, into our people, into our team. We have 29 employees. We've been doing this since 2017. We've helped out over 3,800 other members here in Credit Counts Elite. And what we've come to learn is that you need coaching, and you need excellence with coaching, not mediocre coaching, not some fly-by-night type of coaching. Like real coaching of somebody who's already been there, done it, and who's been trained up by others who've been there and done it, myself. And so that's how we here at Credit Counts Elite stand apart from all the others in many different ways. There's so many other ways that I could tell you about, but you've heard that on other podcasts. On this podcast, I just want to explain to you, a course isn't going to get you to where you want to be. If I'm mentioning, hey, I can show you how to get up to 500,000. We've had people hit 1 million. We've had people hit 700s, 600s. Many people hit 500s. Our average is 370,000. So, nobody should be walking away with less than 200,000. And when I say that, some people are like, wow, how do you do it? It's the coaching. If you're just going for a course, then don't kid yourself. If you get 30, 40,000, that's an incredible ROI. If you get 25,000, you just 10x'd it. You know what I'm saying? It's an incredible ROI. But the real ROI, my friend, the real ROI comes down to accountability and true feedback. And so I just don't want you to kid yourself. I don't want you to be idiotic and thinking, that you can jump into a plane because I taught you it. If I'm teaching you how to talk to banks in a course, the course is meant to get you up to speed. So you and I are speaking the same language, because what I'm about to teach you is something that it's almost like I'm teaching you Mandarin, like Chinese. Like this is your first time soaking it up. You've never heard of it. You don't know you don't know any of it. So it's a lot, and it's like drinking from a fire hose. And so when you get coaching, our goal is to simplify it, to be able to clarify, to be able to answer your questions, to be able to hover over top of you and not micromanage, but to micro guide to be able to course correct, to be able to get you right back on track, to be able to help you be able to get the best of the best results. And let's not kid ourselves either. Even with coaching, you will make mistakes. Your first mass apply, you're going to get less than you would like. In many cases, depends on where your mindset's at, right? But in 9 times out of 10, whatever your goal is, you're going to make mistakes during the process. Why? Because it's your first time doing it. Our goal is that you have moments in the making of doing it alongside with saving you a ton of time, energy, because we've tested you so much prior, so that you are prepared, that you are positioned, and that in those moments, you will never make those same mistakes again. You were prepared and positioned to be able to get the best of the best terms, the highest limits possible, and doing it with confidence and boldness, getting up to 90% approval odds. It's a big, big deal. So I just want to make sure that you know that, execution is key. By all means, it is. But don't kid yourself. A course all by itself, it's not going to be what you need. And in fact, we spend a lot of money per member to be able to get the support and guidance that you need to succeed. But that's what I'm willing to do, whatever it takes to be able to have the right accountability partner for you, or the right member success manager for you, the right fulfillment director for you. We have a team surrounded to support you, the right onboarding specialist, the right course content, the right people in the back that you'll never see that's doing the due diligence and trying to find the new bank connections and resources to make your process much easier and simplified. Our goal is to make all of this dialed in for you, but not to do you a disservice of doing it for you, but instead empowering you to be able to do this every 6 months for you, your family, your finances, and for so much more. That's what I'm passionate about, because real estate absolutely changed my life. Changed my life forever. But let's not kid ourselves. The fuel to the fire was the credit, learning how to talk to the banks. OBM, not OPM, not other people's money, but other banks' money, OBM. And when you learn how to talk to these banks properly, get the highest limits possible, get the best terms and conditions, and be able to get up to 90% approval odds, the best approval odds, it makes life that much easier. But don't kid yourself. Again, going through some content, going through some, you need coaching and support throughout the whole process. And that goes for universal for anything. If you want to go further, faster, stronger, and not waste time, because the more that you start buying back your time, you realize man, the money I could care less about. On your deathbed, nobody ever says, man, I wish I just had more money. They always say, I wish I would have had more time. I wish I would have spent more time doing this. I wish I would have, selected and just had more time. So for me, time is a big, big asset. It's my biggest asset. It doesn't matter for anything else. What time matters to me so importantly is just, I don't want to waste time. And so if there's somebody out there that can help coach me to get me there further, faster, better terms, better approval, be able to get to the top, then I'm willing to sacrifice the almighty dollar, because I'm not going to put it on a pedestal controlling me and put it over my head like it's controlling me like a puppet. I'm not going to do that. I control it. I put the money underneath me just like the rich do. And so at the end of the day, focusing on what truly matters is your time. How do I get to the top? How do I get there with excellence? I'll pay for the coaching. And so I say all that to let you know, a course, again, don't put power in things like that unless you're okay with getting a $15,000, $25,000 return, because that's still 10x, right? Instead, be comfortable with, if you want some big numbers, then really let's focus on some big numbers, right? Let's get to the maximum. And if we can teach you how to do it, why not? And our guarantee is very simple. It's our pledge. Our pledge is we want to see you turn into a raving fan. Get to your goal. And so if you're struggling, if you need more support, help, guidance, we work with you until you are satisfied, raving fan, and just above and beyond happy with your ROI, your investment. So right now we have some holiday specials. All right. We have some holiday specials starting now till the end of the year. You can take advantage of it by simply letting the team know when you jump on a call. It's only from now until the end of the year, until the 1st, okay? At midnight. So make sure, because my team's going to be out partying and I'm going to give them the grace to do so. Enjoy themselves with their family and friends. So make sure you get on a call sooner than later. We have a free webinars that we're doing weekly. I'm about to jump on one in about 30 minutes, which I'm excited for. But if you want 5K off, $5,000 off, and that's only for people that pay in full right then and there, ready to go, then this is your opportunity. This is for our 90-day challenge specifically. We don't discount our inner circle because that is high-level business owners. But what we are doing is similar to what we did on Black Friday for our internal members only. If you're serious about this, for anybody that decides to move forward with inner circle, we can hook you up with buying an aged entity on your behalf. Okay, so if you need an aged entity, it's worth as much as $600 to $8,500. That's discounted rates that we get. Others out there in the world have paid 25, 50 grand for, like, stupid numbers, wild stuff. 40,000 people have paid that have come to us after and paid that. I was like, what are you guys doing? But anyway, we have legitimate ones that aren't blacklisted, that are at fair value, and I'm paying it for you if you're serious about getting into our inner circle. And that's by the end of this year, and it's paying in full. So if you guys are serious behind either of those, reach out, let us know. You can simply go to creditcounselelite.com. That's www.creditcounselelite.com. Check us out on Instagram as well, Brandon Elliott Investments. Otherwise, Credit Counsel Elite on credit, or on IG. On Instagram, it's Credit Counsel Elite or Brandon Elliott Investments. In the page, we have ways that you can jump into register for our free webinar. So, or just jump in and watch one of our 10-minute videos that explains more about what the heck we're doing, how it can benefit you, and how you can actually learn how to talk to these banks to get the best terms and conditions, the highest rates of approval, the highest limits, the highest approval odds. Look, there's tremendous opportunities coming up for 2026. Will you be prepared for it? That's my question to you. Because you have goals, your family has goals, you have a future, a bright future, if you make the right decisions, right? So what does it look like for you? How do you want to see 2026 different than 2025? If you are tired of being tired and tired of ready to draw the line in the sand and say enough is enough, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, then get the coaching that you need, get the support that you need, not just a course, but get the real content to be able to get you the people in place to see you succeed, hold you accountable, and be raving on afterwards, okay? It's all about, the real ROI is all about accountability, and it's all about feedback, all right? So love you guys all so much. Hope you have an incredible holiday season coming up. Enjoy it with your friends and family. Start slowing down. If you're anything like me, I know that you're probably going to be speeding up, but slow it down, get ready for the holidays, enjoy yourself. And if you are prepared and positioned to actually make 2026 your best year yet, then check us out here at Credit Counsel Elite so we can teach you how to get massive amounts of funding. We have incredible investment opportunities coming up too. There's nothing better than the investment opportunities that we have inside of Credit Counsel Elite. So it's a biased opinion, but you can come check it out for yourself. And so we have investment opportunities, we have real deal funding, we have real promises and pledges with our guarantee behind it to hold ourselves accountable alongside with you. And we will meet you halfway and drag you to the finish line each and every time. So we're excited to be able to work with you and bless you with this information. Come check us out at creditcounselelite.com. If you have not already hit subscribe to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, then do so now. Check us out on YouTube as well. It's Brandon Elliott Investments. Subscribe there as well. But leave that 5-star review afterwards. Get the newest notification every week when the new one comes out. And we'll catch you guys later, all right? Love you guys. God bless.
This has been another episode of Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, brought to you by Brandon Elliott. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Thanks again for joining. Until next time, God bless.